Hello Team Zug, and today we're back with another custom showcase video. Now these are customs I made around 2 weeks ago, but for some reason or another I just didn't have the courage or the time to review them. But that's all gonna change because today they're here to review. My Deagostini customs of Skarloey, Rheneas, and Peter Sam. So the reason why I made these guys is because Deagostini made the other classic narrow gauge engines from season 4, like Sahandel, Rusty, Duncan, and Duke, but for some reason or another, they just never got the chance to make Skarloey, Rheneas, or Peter Sam. I think the reason why they never got around to making them is because of Deagostini's short lifespan. You see, Deagostini was released around late 2003 with Thomas, and 2004 they released a bunch of characters like these guys, along with the main characters like Percy, James, Toby, Gordon, Edward, Henry, Doc, and all that lot. And then you got some obscure characters like Diesel 10. Well, I guess so. I mean, Magic Road did came out in 2000, and this is 2004 we're talking about, so why not? Then you got characters like Daisy, who haven't appeared in a show in a long time, and characters like Boko. Well, I guess Boko was still prominent more than Daisy because he appeared more. Yeah, it's like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to talk about Deagostini as a whole. That's for another time. But anyways, they never got around to make the narrow gauge engines like the rest of them because, unfortunately, Deagostini got discontinued in 2005. Or late 2004. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. So, I always wanted to make these guys. But I never got the chance to do it. Until now. Or 2 weeks ago, I should say. Alright, let's start with Skarloey, since he was the first one I did. So Skarloey was made out of a Sahandel, and he's a very modified Sahandel that I done. Oh yeah, by the way guys, remember I said about the mint Sahandel that I don't know if I would add because there was a smudge? Well, I removed the smudge and it's gone, so hey, I got a brand new Sahandel, which is nice. Anyways, so the modifications I did to Skarloey is that I cut off the original Sahandel domes, replaced them with new ones. Fun fact, when I was cutting off the dome on Skarloey, it actually cracked and broke. I was able to glue it back together, and you can still see this like the remains of like the cracks in it. Yeah, I added a dome here, and this weird toolbox. At first, I didn't add it on Skarloey until I realized he has that, so I added it in. I modified his cab to make it look like Skarloey's cab because Skarloey, the Deagostini's handle looks a bit like Skarloey more than, well, it's the handle, in my opinion. Here's the cab. Now, I accidentally give Skarloey and Peter Sam over here windows at the back, despite that none of the Deagostini engines have this. And I thought, why not? I mean, even though it was a mistake, it was a really nice mistake I made. Yeah, I printed off his name and number myself. Yep, and I cut off the original nose and make a new one. Now his nose is a bit long, but I kind of like it. And I touched up the face, and it kind of looks like Skarloey. I like it. So yeah, Skarloey is done. His nameplate right here isn't the best position, but oh well. Alright. Rheneas. Rheneas was made out of a Duncan. A heavily modified Duncan. Like, I cut off the nose. I cut off the back of the bunker. Like, fun fact, Skarloey is the only one that didn't get the back of his cab cut off. Yeah. Surprisingly, it was actually pretty simple to make, if I'm being honest. There was no big gaps. like I thought there would, like no big holes. It was just plastic still, which is really nice. I made a custom wheel arch. Now Rheneas is not really accurate because um the number 2 should be over there instead of in the middle, but I don't really care. I think some of his merchandising have this problem, so it's not a big deal. Plus, I really like it. Yeah, I couldn't also add his lining at the back. Oh well. Yeah, fun fact, the dome is actually from the original Duncan dome that I was able to salvage. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm actually kind of happy on Rheneas. Since he was made out of my old Duncan, he has the problem with his coupling. But oh well. Yeah. Here's the thing I don't really get about Deagostini's Navigation. Like all of them, like including my custom of Rheneas, they scale perfectly. But then you got my customs on Skarloey, PSM, and the official's handle, and I get upset because how bad the scaling is. Oh well, it doesn't really bother me that much, but it does grind my gears. Right, now I move on to Peter Sam, who is the most frustrating of them all, in my opinion. You thought making Skarloey was hard because of the crack on his saddle tank. He got nothing on Peter Sam. So Peter Sam was made out of another as the handle. I painted him green. He has the back window problem, which I already discussed, but it's cool, so I'm keeping it. Yeah, now you notice that his side tanks is a bit tilted up. That's because I discovered something interesting about these models. Now, the only thing I don't really like about my custom is the funnel. I know it looks terrible, but I had my reasons. So the funnel used to be 10 times better, but when I was trying to put the damn thing back together, it just kind of breaks, so I had to glue it back together, and this was the end result. Yeah, I mean, it looks fine, but just not very good. But I like the face, though. Yeah, here's the thing. So, we all know Deagostini's front screws are around the position of the funnel. Why is that? Well, I made a shocking discovery. It turns out the funnel area was actually a screw holder. Yes, so funnels are technically screw holders. And since I cut off the original funnel, that means it did not fit together perfectly. This was the best result. It looks okay. It looks fine. It's not that noticeable unless I bring it up. So yeah, these were my customs on Skarloey, Rheneas, and PSM. I'm really happy with the end result. Now, sorry it took me over 2 weeks to actually, review these guys, like show them off. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. So yeah, that was just basically my custom showcase on the Deagostini, Skarloey, Rheneas, and Peter Sam. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!